Call to order this Thursday, August 1st, 2024 meeting of Springfield Historical Commission. We have Commissioner Walsh, Commissioner Nardi, Commissioner Judith Kroll, Commissioner Mercy Rosie, Commissioner Walter Kroll, and then the next four here. Really good. So I think to take a motion to accept the minutes of the July 18th, 2024 meeting. Second. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, let me call the vote. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? None. Not opposed. Not any abstentions? That passes unanimously. Okay, we have 9197 Chestnut Street is not going to be here. Just make sure no one here from 9197 Chestnut. I'd entertain a motion to continue to the August 15th meeting. So moved. Second. Any discussion on the motion? I'm hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? No, that passes unanimously. Okay, 43 Ingersoll Road. How you doing? Hello.
Matt Leisler, 43 Ingersoll Grove, but also speaking on behalf of my partner, Lee Smith. You have to
Thank you very much. Thank you. This is, let's see, there's is there a new application for this? This is still not the original.
Not the original.
This is an application certificate of hardship. Oh, that's patient for hardship. What exactly? Just tell me what we're talking about.
Sure. So the house currently has wood cedar shades on the house, many of which are in pretty dire need of repair, and in the front of the house is creating water damage. It's like water. We are finding cedar shakes exceedingly expensive. So I with Mr. Nardi's sort of instructions when I did more price comparisons, it's something close to more than $25,000 if I just buy the materials myself, let alone labor and anything else from Home Depot. And I sent to Mr. Allen sort of a spreadsheet that was breaking down a few different options.
Okay.
As well as we did get one contractor to come out. That's yeah, that was their quote to replace in vinyl platform. Their rough off the cuffs estimate was $88,000 for vinyl shakes. So I'm still trying to find. I've got another estimate that came in substantially less than that. But we've had multiple people tell us they're not. This is from Vista Home Movement. They're not even willing to work with them. So I genuinely don't know how to replace the cedar shakes. I can honestly so
your proposal is
switch to vinyl side. My preference, if you'll scroll up to the render, keep going up. So here's a render you did for us. So that would be vinyl clapboard. It doesn't have the trim on the corners. Unfortunately, I think they just missed that rendering. But if we were allowed to switch to vinyl clapboard, that would be roughly what the house would look like. They suggested putting vinyl shakes at the top just to break up that section and keep a little pop. That would be sort of the most economical method. And for example, one of the contractors I served with, they worked with RK Miles, who carries the Fairway products They have a weathered or a wood grain appearance. And coming up, a wide variety of colors.
Which color do you have preference?
My husband was quite fond of the autumn harvest there, or the golden something, that's up the back of that one.
Golden honey.
Golden honey, thank you. Which would be pretty close to the yellow that we have on the house now.
That's what?
Golden honey.
That's, it's like golden honey. Let's looking through to see what things that we have here, because we don't have any. Where you. We have any pictures of the house or anything?
The render doesn't have the corner posts like in our neighbor's house. But I understand that pretty standard. If I'm talking to have that.
What are you just, the corner boards?
The
Corner boards.
yes, yes, Mr. Clerk. Thank you.
Is there any other detail that you, any other detail of that? Not that there's much, there's a little bit about the window or something else. Is there any of that that you're going to try to maintain?
How do you like that to answer?
Well, duplicate, replicate.
You like the window frames, like
Well, the window frames, I would hope you'd be keeping the same size.
Yes.
Differentiated.
yes. The window frames, the windows, the mullions would be the same. So
Yeah, so, because that's already,
really similar.
that's already, the
Yes,
window's already done.
yes.
But, I think the answer might be the rendering. Right, but I didn't see it, that's why. If you could pop back to the render for a second, it's not like cover some of those details here, that's not.
And then yeah, we did a rendering of shapes as well.
Okay, so the corner, you're not proposing corner boards, or you are, they're just not in here.
I would
Be
be
like 4 inches or.
Yes.
Or something, or the same color, or whatever. Yeah, they seem to have to do that for them, but
They just didn't put it in the render.
they just didn't put it in. In that detail above that, the front window there, I don't know if that's even necessarily historic detail anyways, but,
I think that's some cardboard nailed to it, right? Shaped plywood.
So that's it, just straight vinyl, a little shape reproduction there above, the gable end. Okay, anything else you'd like to add to that?
No, that would, as I said, that would be the big ask.
So it seems like from the last meeting, one of the things I think Commissioner Nardi had talked about was how that house kind of fits in with some of the smaller houses, and I thought the direction that you guys were gonna look at would be to try and keep the shapes so that the shapes kind of tie in, since some of the other houses around there kind of have that. Those are some of the features of that house. It looks like you kind of changed that and now it's more toward clapboard.
Well, and I apologize if I wasn't completely understanding the arguments. It's given that I thought the construction was to. I got the sense that the circles get my research, get my price comparisons, right?
Sure. Yep.
Like I said, that estimate was from Vista. They were about an extra $20K, switched to vinyl shakes of some variety.
This says here, lead estimate. For 20 grand, plus 20 grand to do the whole house.
I got in the last like hour, we got Cedar Falls construction, or Cedar Falls roof and siding. Finding that an estimate to us, they can do the whole house in flat board in about 17 additional 10 shakes. There's, we were looking at, we had to do vinyl shakes, we were looking at something like that, maybe imitation wood. That's it's the same style, just it's the smaller one, it's the other. It's a matter of cost that would basically double the materials cost and add substantially to the labor.
Is this material with the rendering that we gave it?
No, I think they've got that in sort of a like a perfection shape, and kind of more weathered, or not weathered. So less smooth, more woody roots.
And if I'm remembering correctly, you have significant water damage because of this coming in through the back, through the existing shakes, is that correct?
Yeah, especially in the front, that front window there, it's all of the shades are rotted out. The water is just flowing down behind it. And then on the rear of the house, the fascia of the gutter is pretty shot. So around the perimeter of the house, there's been ongoing water damage to the shades, probably to the material underneath. So from what I understood from the contractors are saying, as they start pulling stuff off, it's like, wow, they're just.
You're gonna find water though? Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna be pulling off more and more and more. Yes, ma'am. And so, bare minimum, we have to strip that entire front to address that window in the corner, which are badly rotted, probably have some frame damage underneath them.
Yeah, I just want to read the justification for the hardship here. Our is, well, improperly installed windows in 2011, which radiation brick windows and peaking style of this. Improper installation is kind of damage, but the window siding, material, potential frame damage, spoken with the contractor involved in making switch to combine up there to bear that. Yes, replacing the damaged shingles with wood shingles are much more expensive than these things. So they have some price comparison. Shows wood shingles are potentially more expensive. Fine. Area.
Yeah, in the spreadsheet I sent to Mr. Allen, you can fill it up, but it breaks it down by a bunch of different manufacturers and options along with, which, cedar shingles we can get from Home Depot.
The application for hardship may be granted if failure to do an application involves substantial hardship, financial or otherwise, to the applicant. Such application may be without substantial detriment to the public welfare and without substantial variation from the intent of this check.
I forgot, how long ago did you buy this?
November 2022. So just coming up on 2
And
years.
the work done there was not appropriate, as I understand.
You're right.
For the original ones?
The ones you bought it from.
Yes, yeah, they were supposed to replace it, I think, with wood from the applications. They didn't, they were supposed to put in, and I'm afraid they don't get the name of the cross hatching, so they never stick. Mullions,
It's great.
Well. Any commissioners have questions for our petitioner?
So I guess we should. Ask what is exactly that are being asked to know.
Well, you're allowed to do the house in that type of siding, not that type,
the,
the other one.
The other one in the golden.
Straight, right, this is fine, this is fine, regular. I want to say standard vinyl siding,
These have on the side and then
With the color.
in the gable, what would that be?
That we find something similar. Well, it just has a appropriate color, so we should probably be the perfection shade.
In the corner boards would be there.
The corner
Or
door,
the
the window
frames that we. Yeah, that's what we're gonna be voting. Any other questions or issues? All right, I gotta open this up to public commentary. Is there anyone here that would like to speak for or against this application for a certificate of hardship at 43 Ingersoll Road regarding the siding as just presented? Anybody for or against? Go ahead. Name and address, name and address. You know how to do it.
Ed Zuckerman, 28 Ingersoll Road in Springfield. Okay, I've lived across the street from the house for 38 years now. I watched the last two butchering of the building. I don't think people even bothered getting approval of what they had done. I watched the house being vacant. I drive around at night a lot and see some beautiful homes that are falling down. Nobody's opting to fix them up. Others are just laying waste. To have somebody come into the neighborhood and trying to take a property that is in distress and fix it up and make it look appropriate. It's not a Victorian house. It was built in 1948. But he's trying to make it look appropriate to the time it was built. And also to the neighbors on each side of it, which are all newer constructions. So I think the board should approve his application.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Anybody else for or against? Good.
Ed Bowler, I live at 51 Ingersoll Road next door, and I support it. You know, I've lived there, and the house has been a junk since I moved there. So he's just trying to upgrade the neighborhood, I feel.
Thank you very much. Anybody else for or against? Go ahead. Name?
Mike Ostrowski, 15 Ingersoll Road. The board knows I've been here before in support of this project, and I really want to stress that my support is only increased as we work through this process. Matt's been working hard, not just with the board, respecting what the board's concerns are about this type of work being done in a historic district, although this is not a historic house. And particularly, I want to call out what I understand to be Matt's really hard work to take up Mr. Nardi's suggestion that something be done if vinyl is going to go onto this house to really respect the historic district requirements. And Mr. Nardi made great effort at the last meeting to actually draw in his architect's method what the front of the house would look like with the cedar shakes versus a clapboard presentation. But Matt's also been working with all of us, and we're all Matt's closest neighbors. We look at the house and look at our neighbors, and we all think that what Matt is proposing here in terms of the clapboard will be a vast improvement and will truly be consistent with not just our little cluster of homes, but with this neighborhood. And thank you for your time.
Anybody else for or against? Okay, I have one letter here.
See, it's one of two letters, so there's one might not be the docket, so I have that pulled up for us.
Well, I have the, let me just read this one for the record. Springfield Commissioner James Gould, 97 Forest Street. Regarding 43 Ingersoll Grove, dear commissioners, are in opposition to the request of the owners of 43 Ingersoll Grove to replace the regular cedar shake with vinyl siding. This is a change of style to this 1948 post-war suburban home whose first owner was a green vinyl is inappropriate in the local historic district on a house listed on the National Register of Historic Places. One window of a dormer that's been replaced without permission with a window of inappropriate size and color. Furthermore, replacement with most information standards. The original picture window was replaced without permission sometime between 2007 and 2015. There was some infill housing in the late 1940s, and this is a good example of it. It needs to be respected as all the other houses in the district are. They are all historic as determined by the Commission of the National Register. Is that the one I just read? So there's another one in here.
This one is progressive. It's a different 1%. It's 1%.
Well, let me see if I can find it here. It's probably in here. It's just like this version. here. I don't see it, so
I'll get you a paper copy.
well.
It's read it from the screen.
Public comment on 43 Ingersoll Road, dear Springfield Historical Commission. I'm writing to oppose the petition for replacement of window shingles with vinyl clapboard siding on 43 Ingersoll Road based on the following. Our McKnight Historic District guidelines specifically state that changing wood shingles to aluminum or vinyl clapboard is not permitted. Likewise, the Massachusetts Historical Commission guidebook for Historic District Commissions says, for historic buildings in a local historic district, covering clapboards, wood shingles, or even asbestos shingles with vinyl siding is not appropriate. Vinyl siding covers up important character-defining features such as shingles, clapboards, and trim. Its installation often removes historic trim, brackets, and other unique architectural features. Even for new construction in a local historic district, vinyl siding should be avoided. Wood shingles are classic New England historic building material for a Cape style house. Vinyl clapboard will completely destroy the character of this Cape home built in 1948. While this home may not be as showy as some of our Victorian homes, it does have individual and neighborhood significance as follows. This home is part of an historic district with sum total look. All homes is of greatest importance. This house is inventoried on the National Register District Inventory. 2 preferably preserved buildings have now been defined in our city as structures 75 years or older. Thus, this home has individual significance as a post-war Massachusetts Cape home. The homeowner claims financial hardship as basis for avoiding the rules, but hardship is only an appropriate rationale where there are unique circumstances affecting an owner's property, not where the hardship relates generally to other property owners in the district. Massachusetts Historical Commission Guidebook for Historic District Commissions. Wood shingles are used throughout Springfield's historic districts and are therefore not unique to this owner's property. In fact, there are many large 3-story Victorian homes in our neighborhood with wood shingles that are being maintained, which is much more burdensome maintenance tasks than the petitioner's smaller 1-story Cape. So the fact that the home has wood shingles does not constitute a hardship under the law. Moreover, when the petitioner brought this house quite recently in November 2022 in a historic district, he took on the responsibility to maintain his home in accordance with historic district rules. He is benefiting from all the extra investment that his neighbors have had to put into their historic homes and choosing to live in this beautiful neighborhood. So he must do the same. I also note he had the right to have an inspection of his home when he purchased it in November 2022. So he should have known about the condition of the siding and windows when he bought it, since it is an open and obvious condition. As to other infill homes in our neighborhood that have artificial aluminum vinyl siding, the long-term neighbors have confirmed that this was done long ago before the historic district protections were enacted and when vinyl siding was the new craze. Now vinyl siding is considered a cheap and substandard building material. It is no longer used for new middle-class homes, as fiber cement siding has become the new siding material of choice. In fact, public opinion has turned against vinyl siding due to its negative environmental impact being made of chemical petroplastics and its plastic look. As per the Old House Guide website, vinyl siding will make a neighborhood look like a high-priced trailer park. It cannot be permitted to devalue our neighborhood. I hope this new neighbor can hire a contractor who understands how to work with older homes instead of contractors pushing vinyl siding on him and devaluing both his home and our neighborhood. Cedar shingles are long-term quality material investments, as demonstrated by the fact that his existing shingles have lasted 75 years. Even if he has to do one section of the home at a time to accomplish the repair, rather than all at once, it is preferable to cutting corners with vinyl. For all of the above reasons, this petition should be denied. Jennifer Rao, 29 Ingersoll Grove, Springfield, Mass. 01109. That was it.
You've already spoken this section.
Yeah.
You've already spoken this up. You can't counter something.
Oh, I was.
You're in favor, you guys are in favor?
No, I have a question.
She is, let me just close the public commentary, right? There's nothing else, right? No, for instance, I'm gonna close the public commentary. Go ahead, question.
Years back, Jim Boone and the local historic group, and they got us all abiding, nice little plaques for the year that our house was built. And they're all on the home. I don't see a plaque like that in that property. I mean, it's a newer building in a historic district, granted, but it's not, I don't think it's considered an historic, like a house like mine or Mike's. I mean, it has no more value to it as a historic house as the brand new garage that was built on Dartmouth Terrace 15 years ago.
I apologize, but
Yeah,
I'll wrap that into your support of this petition.
right.
Thank you. But I appreciate the training and dedication. There's, unfortunately, when there's a letter like this, there's always there's things in there that are legitimate things to consider. And then there's legitimate things to consider when the hardship is put in front of us. This is when it's hard for us. This is not easy when this happens. The hardship is financial, and I read the hardship for the reason that financial is an acceptable hardship. One thing I do kind of want to put on the record is about people buying houses in historic districts don't usually have all the information necessary before they buy in order to go, oh, this is what the responsibilities are going to be. Even if you know, I don't know if you lose an historic district when you bought it, but even if you know, which is the seller's obligation to say it's in a district subject to restrictions. So some things I would not hold, it's the new owners, let me say, their feet to the fire over, even if they knew it was a historic property when they bought it, because you don't know what it entails to sit in that seat with some repairs or expenses that come your way. But anyway, that's my little statement for the record. Any more commissioners have any other? Go ahead, Commissioner. Still anything to ask?
As per what I heard in that letter, have you considered doing part of the house ahead of time? Because that relates to the financial hardship.
We have, it was, a good point was made to me, one contractors that, every time we get them out, if it's in stages, the disposal fees set up, to comply with lead abatement and all the rest. Setup fees, thank you, sir. That will get, paying those multiple times as opposed to fixing, the north, west side of the house is the least bad, but north, south, and east all need pretty substantial repairs. So, well, is to get it all done in one go and to have it be fixed and finished, since at least three sides need extensive work. The longer we wait, there's a leak in the back that's probably also due to the siding up towards the top of the house and the rear of the house. So we can wait. It makes the water damage worse later on.
Okay. I just have one last question.
Yes.
So did you also consider doing the three sides of the house that are viewed from the public way and not the rear? Did you discuss perhaps using your vinyl only on the sides that were not viewed from the street, like public way?
From the rearmost side. The contractors we got in touch with have all pushed vinyl pretty heavily. As I said, Vista Home and Roof came out flat out. Does not. They said we don't even work in good. I've gone under the assumption that vinyl is the way to go. Given the, just the, like he's putting his finger off the cuff price of $500 for 50 square feet of cedar shakes.
You can answer that straight, you can say no.
Fair enough, yes.
But we don't mind, we want to hear what you really think, believe me, that's fair enough here, because you're gonna hear what we're doing. Yes, my problem with, like it says, that it sometimes happens, I just, the contractors aren't whose opinion we necessarily want when we're sitting here. Some know how to do it, some know how to repair houses, some know how to do things, or they know how to keep historic details and stuff like that, that's what we're after. But the application is for hardship to allow you to do as you've seen. You have public commentary, if there's anything else you want to add, otherwise I have to call for a vote here.
Only in Mr. Bean's letter that, if he was referring to the window in the dormer, so like I stated.
That's a done deal.
We got permission for it.
Yeah, that's all done deal, so we're just talking about vinyl.
Fair enough.
That's all. So if there's anything else you'd like to add about that before I call for a vote, and then you have to ask questions from commissioners. Okay, so I'd entertain a motion to accept the application for a certificate of hardship at 43 Interstone Road to install vinyl siding as presented. Is there a second? Okay, discussion on the motion? Yeah, go ahead, Commissioner Nardi.
Just from my observations of all these materials, this piece right here,
Yes.
this piece of material, it would be very difficult to see if there were corner, if there were corner shakes made of that material, it would be very difficult to think that that was vinyl from the product. And the reason is, yes, the reason is because it's thick and the end grain looks like an end cup. Right. This is very real.
Right, and the problem is this is what's on the lower
I
part.
understand that was on the, that's on the, we're being closer about. I just wanted to make that comment because of all these materials I've seen. This was surprising.
Yeah, there's a note in here saying that you look at that, it's 20 grand.
Yeah.
Materials cost all. Okay, so. Any other questions? I can call for. The vote has been made second, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? No. No. We just get this down. Commissioner Nardi? No. Commissioner Walter? No. Commissioner Duco?
No.
Commissioner Nestor?
Yes.
Commissioner Zorzi? Yeah. Okay, unfortunately, this one, just try to put something else in. That's, there are other options, you just gotta work on. I don't know the answer, but. Yeah.
The most important thing I think I heard was that the contractors that you're talking to are vinyl contractors. They're pushing vinyl. There may be a carpentry contractor who does this stuff all the time. I presume there are.
But that's gonna raise the price a lot.
Okay, we gotta move, unfortunately, we gotta move to the next one.
Okay, so,
So thank you for the things in the public.
so what does that mean in terms of asking for permission for one of the other finding areas?
Yeah, it means you have to.
Reset.
Yeah. Right, but can you have a permission? That can go, that was last.
Which we cannot do until we get the siding done, because if we're gonna tear everything off, I need to know what kind of siding I can put on.
You know, the good knows, we should know what it was.
Yeah, the only last thing I would leave with is if you have water coming in and it's not from the roof, then you should be able to control water with either gutters or something that keeps it away from the wall, from the exterior of the wall. I'm sure you've had somebody look at that, but trying to control water so it doesn't hit what's there.
Yeah, it shouldn't be coming down the wall.
It shouldn't be doing it.
Unfortunately, we have to do it actually.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next is 92 Buckingham Street. this, this is regarding returning regarding the side porch. Is there a new write-up for this or a description of the new working lot?
This was something the thing.
We didn't get anything.
Okay, well, okay, just go ahead and tell us what's stop.
So when I was here last, we looked at the current structure, I can pull it up, and figured that if it was up to code, I could go ahead and keep parts of it built. No, it's not.
Oh, there you go.
No.
You're close.
There is the wood framing underneath is in the wrong direction. The contractor was just there with me because I wasn't sure and I wasn't comfortable with the uncertainty based on the contractor that did it and all the mistakes that were made. So in looking at it, we realized there's a lot wrong structurally with it.
Mhm.
So we're just gonna scrap the whole thing
Okay.
and rebuild it to the way it was. So it will mimic the front porch.
Okay.
Okay. Which is preferable to me.
Okay, so.
I'm just, uniformity and that's.
It's unfortunate that work got done
Yes.
and now you have to redo it.
Yeah.
So what you're proposing now is we're gonna reframe it,
So it's gonna
Redo it,
totally
hold on,
redo it,
all the railings.
all the
will be
railings,
same,
all the
all same
floor,
material, the roof.
it's pitched. It's naturally pitched. It was pitched in the original, so it'll be
Yeah.
pitched.
Okay.
Um,
I just wanna make sure that when somebody makes a motion, that we're covering
yes.
the details so that we can actually.
And so we're gonna lower the deck back to the original height because they brought it up. So the step down from the house was not as big.
Yeah.
And then I was supposed to come back on September 5th to talk about the stairs. So we decided that we're gonna keep the concrete stairs. But once we lower it, he's gonna add another concrete stair, yes. 7-inch uniformity, so it's the same height.
All right, is there anything else you'd like to add? Okay, any questions from the commissioners? Okay, let me open this back up to public commentary. If there's anyone who'd like to speak for or against this proposal to rebuild their side porch in the same, mimicking the old side porch, with the same material, same design, same rail structure, roof structure, and dimensions. Anybody for or against? Being none, I'll close the public commentary. So I entertain someone to put that motion together. For sure.
One thing,
Go ahead.
I believe we had to change it. The application, I signed that initially.
You went to the hardship, yeah, we can put it back to appropriate. Good call, I didn't even notice. But you're right there, you're right, it's back there, towards that, Mr. Chair. Here, I'm gonna slide over there, she knows what she. I'm just make a note above the, next to the appropriateness, that it's a new, put it in today's date, and so we'll know that it's back to appropriate. So I think, perfect.
I think your comment was the motion.
Okay, did I miss anything?
No.
That's acceptable to everybody, that's the motion, is there a second on the motion? Second. Is there any discussion on the motion? Being for appropriateness, yes. That's good. Okay. Okay. So for the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions or passes unanimously?
And that means I don't have to come and come it.
That's correct.
Because there's.
You're not talking about, but if anything changes, if for some reason something has to change, comes in.
Thank
Or
you.
if you're just.
Good night.
Okay,
Just want to interject, Attorney Shoemshock was joining the call.
Robert, nice to hear. Okay, let me see where.
How's everyone doing?
Good,
Good.
You?
Doing great.
That's good. There. Okay, new hearings, 2729 Dartmouth Street, front porch renovations. An application for certificate of appropriateness, front porch, barricade, right, it's been posted, place the board line, steps without any other change, because the work of the porch. Current board is paid the time to do the work, no structural alterations are planned. The photo replacement with the hallway that the exit, composite coming in the crowd. Sample of one was attached to the document. I believe that the choosing composite that are 8 years old and standing and painting on the wood porch floor, it needs every year. Become more and more difficult. Because composite product is better than this is playing it through. It will not look like a deck. We have some recent wood floor. They're also attracted by this church because of environmental concerns, continuing to force it from the family as it finds entirely solid, recycled by the decks. Okay, well, I don't know if that would be a. I guess.
No, I didn't.
It would be appropriate to do material.
We've been sanding and painting this porch for 18 years. And you all know about that. And we're just started doing it. And plus it's at the point now where it's there weak spots, there's rot, various things.
So any other wood is going to be replaced with wood. If there's any other.
I really have the railings on the front, which you can see ought to be. You can see the railings, those need some work, but those will be replaced by wood.
Yeah, this doesn't mention railings unless I missed it.
Well, it says no other structural.
Just the porch.
Right. Yeah. But
So we're not,
Don't say anything about the railing, but it's
well,
it's not applicability if you're gonna do repair what's there with the exact same materials without changing any design or.
well, yeah, there wouldn't be any, I mean, the flooring itself look different, but.
He's not talking about the flooring, he's talking about the railings. So if you're gonna do railings and there's no change in the railings.
No change.
You still got it. You still got
No
it.
change.
This,
I could leave it.
because it's not in here, we can't talk about it.
I just want to add, in regards to the handrails, if you replace it with a pipe rail, that does fall
No.
under applicability as well.
No,
Yeah, those rails right there would be passed through. But because it's not on here, you can't add it. It has to be a separate, if you were gonna do the railings in some manner, or if you want us to declare that it's not applicability, which means that we don't have anything to say.
well, I could leave them as they are, yes.
So, well, if you repair them exactly how they are, with the same material, no change in design, everything is duplicated exactly, that's not applicability, we don't need our permission to do it.
Okay, that's what I wanted, okay.
The last few years, we've been asking for an application that says non-applicability, because some people, we tell them it could be non-applicability, then they do something different, because they think we gave them permission.
Like last summer, we had the roof done, and that was the same material, essentially the same as what was on there, so those are not.
Now, look, well, you understand. Now, with the floor, it's gonna have a front,
Yes, I wondered about that too, I think it needs to have a front board, the
yes,
current one does,
so that way.
otherwise the edge of that.
So they won't,
That's
be
right,
the edge of it.
yes, I agree with that.
Because that's bad.
No, it looks
Pretty good product.
It's made by a company called Azek, and Koopman used to be boiler, it's.
Yeah, sure, Yeah, I'll need to tell you this.
I know, I can assure you, I know you didn't want it to look like a deck and it won't.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's
What
what
had me at mine.
it's right. It's the right width, there's a lot of good things going on there.
Yeah.
So, any commissioners have any other questions for the commission? No, here, no, we open it to public commentary. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak for or against this application for a certificate of appropriateness to 2729 Dartmouth Street to, replace the current floor, with this, material. By accident. No structural alterations are planned. Anybody for or against? Being none, I'll close the public comment here.
Make one more additional comment. I had several people come look at it. One of these big companies want to come and just tear everything out, start over. And he said, well, I can't guarantee that the scroll work will survive and all that. I mean, I'm talking to, it's going to, because the posts rest on the floor.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to cut around the posts, see what's under there. Be sure the support's appropriate. So I think I've got a good person to work on it.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, this is, did I just entertain a motion for appropriateness to, replace the current floor? When we do the product as. So, go ahead.
I think you both made it very clear that the edge will be trimmed,
Yes,
so you don't see all these endings.
absolutely.
But I want to make you aware of the fact that with these AZAC, typically people forget that they need to seal the ends of these things.
Okay.
When you cut it, because you're gonna cut it to get a flush edge.
Mhm.
And it has to be sealed with a PVC cement wash that they sell.
Actually, these I have a PVC cladding. So,
But I think when you cut them, you got that.
Yeah.
Make sure you bring from their side, so.
okay.
But it's to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Just making you aware that you don't go through all the effort, you want it to start falling around because of the edge.
So on that motion, before somebody says.
The edge is just the biggest problem, the moisture.
I'm just gonna entertain a motion to accept the application to appropriate to replace to redo the tongue and groove with the material provided and with a front edge. That's good. Or wherever the front edge is currently. That's right, okay. So move second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
So I can,
That's passed.
contractor can pull it. And it's that. Thank you very much.
Okay, 11 High Street. Application for certificate of appropriateness. Replacing a 329 window. The new energy efficient models, proposed model has grid pattern, bronze color of existing windows, any stone windows have been removed. Okay, name and address for the record.
My name is John Lawrence Golova. I work for Paradigm Energy Services as a project engineer. I live at 311th Street, Providence.
Okay, your name?
Bill Butler, I own WKB Carpentry. We're a window dealer. I live at 172 Mount Vernon Road in Chicopee, Massachusetts.
Okay. Graham?
There should be a letter in there.
Just make sure I have authorized the following people. Bill and John. You Bill and John. Because we don't have, if we don't have that, we can't. So we do. So, okay, talk to us about what's happening. Other than they're replacing a ton of units.
Yeah, so we back in the color, we're doing simulated divided lights. We have low sill profile on the bottom.
Those are exterior got light. They look great. They look good. Yeah.
Mr. Butler, it's almost like you've been here before.
I have.
I was thinking that I don't know what historic it seems like no one's in there don't have. Like, oh yeah, I'm looking at here. Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't have had the sample made with them if we didn't have it.
No kidding. So these windows in there, and how old do you think they are?
The windows that are in the building?
Yeah.
It's so long ago that I looked at them, I don't remember. I think some of them are old, like aluminum frames and stuff, and then some of them are old wooden ones.
There are still old wooden ones in there.
There's a couple, not many, but most of them, the aluminum frame.
Most of the pictures look like they were replaced.
Yeah.
25, 30
Yeah.
years ago.
There's a couple of the bathroom windows that were still original. I don't think they worked, or there's, you know, nothing but a little bit of.
Did you have any record of last time you were changed? Probably not. Trying to step up and then up it notch. Making them work. These guys are gonna keep me out of trouble. What was the model number? Sorry,
The Interstate's the manufacturer, that's their 6800.
Don't see that, don't have up there to my face, sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna see it with the screen in it too.
Nah.
We got nice screens.
So that is a fairly low sill.
Doesn't get much lower than that.
It's like, disappears. Okay.
That's what we're aiming for.
Right, and part of what we're aiming for is not to have, an inch of vinyl at the bottom of the window, some of them do, so this is minimal. Yeah, that's all I want to see.
Yeah.
Not worried about the screen.
Yeah.
This one has 11 times.
I am not currently, I haven't been asked to give a bid on the door. I will. To test it.
Strictly windows today.
On the application, it's just windows.
Yeah.
I see 55.
Grid patterns and bronze color.
Yeah, it has multiple addresses.
Yeah, there's several sides to the building.
Any storm windows can be removed. Is there anything else you want to add to that? Anything else you can tell us? I mean, the framing's not gonna be changing any.
Not gonna change any of the framing. We're not doing any aluminum on these particular windows, I don't believe, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have. I mean, those look like they're already.
It's gonna be an upgrade in this situation.
Yeah, this is, well, if they're 30 low, this is an upgrade of that.
Mhm.
Any more questions, Commissioner? Opens the public commentary. Is there anybody here that would like to speak for or against this application for certificate of this in 11 Ninth Street and. 55 Maple to replace 329 windows with the proposed model match grid patterns and brown color individual windows. Store windows to be removed.
Bill did my building.
Name, you gotta go, your name and address.
David Bornstein, David Bornstein, 9 Yorkshire Court in Farmington, Connecticut. Have a lot of experience with Bill. He did my whole building, and if anyone can handle a job that size, it's Bill, and the workmanship on the inside of the molding was unreal.
As long as the outside is good. Since we don't.
Color had nothing to do with it.
You're favorable.
I'm in favor, yes.
Anyone else for or against this proposal?
No, send the project engineer for the.
Seeing none, I'll close the public commentary. Is there any other questions from the commission? Okay, I'm entertaining a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness to replace 329 windows at 11 Ninth Street, /55 Maple, with matching grid patterns and bronze color, external grid patterns with bronze color of the existing windows.
Yeah, there'll be no internal grids.
And the windows, any storms can be removed. Model number is
6,800. No, company's
Interstate 68.
6,800 is the model.
Okay, so moved. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passes unanimously. Lucky project.
Thank you.
Great changes, you're gonna come back. Right. Carry on, even like anything, any exterior change. You see, you're gonna sign off. I'll bet the owner to go.
The owner will have a different problem if you.
Yeah, but the facility will be too big though. We do that.
Okay, 53 Fairfield, good for you. Okay, the application of certificate of hardship. Very good. See attached. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. 53 Fairfield Street. You did for the local project, yeah. Change of roofing. Current slate roof and architectural change of roof. The roof is leaking from the driveway side house, covered in, needs statement, and years behind roofing. It is an estimate 15,000 to replace the two valleys. Or $5,000 to repair sometime in the future. First, the full replacement of the slate roof. Say you get it to us. We expect to be very high. Recently replaced 15 slate costing us $2,000. Bruce got 3D home improvement, also gave us an estimate of $97,000 for fully replacing the slate roof. As far as we know, originally replaced. House is built in 1903, so that would be age of 120 plus. So that's a roof.
That's a roof, so 120 years.
Even trying to keep up with replacing slates and repairing a roof slate. Roof rating 27 would be a little bit. They would have told us number of years. The state had about 5 years about to need to be replaced. For such a long roof, we anticipate no more period need, or else we would not there as possible. See the place of the new slate with financial hardship. Possible things to be painted. They have a good estimate by Roots. 3D home improvement, 27,100 for replacing the slate roof with shingles. The home architecture shingles color with stone gray. Okay. That sounds fairly straightforward. We have to picture. Approximate square foot of the house. You know? It's on 3,500.
That's really, and that's since 19.
Yeah.
On your, that question, you go to the city and the GIS website, you will have this. And you'll,
Yes.
we don't know what the city thinks it is anyway.
Yeah, yes, right.
This one says removal slate. I don't feel. We have an estimate for $269,000. That's for 97,000. And what's it gonna cost to switch it?
27.
Seriously, what's it, 15,000?
That's for the three valleys, only
That's
two
the-
valleys. Where that leaking onto the.
So what do we have? The eaves and the damage on the eaves are like, quantified, that's. You could have broken shingles regularly.
Yeah, yes. Repaired it every year, every other year.
Like little patchwork thing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, because sometimes people come with really nice roofs, they just. Fine.
That doesn't actually show how dark it is. It's like discolored.
Right.
On the front, it's much darker. It's more. That picture.
This, I mean, this coloration is. Slate is. It's done its time, I think, for
This picture and the picture before, I know the two spots right down, it's maybe. Yeah, and then,
well, we see that now. Valleys, maintaining the valleys, I mean, there you go, we see that one.
it's the one on the left, and then the other.
It's a lot of time evident because. Okay, thank you. So I'm not as concerned with the valleys, seeing the deterioration of the slate. That, I mean, the valleys obviously are critical to you guys, but the. I mean, you've been using a reference company to maintain it from what I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Maintained it for a long time. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I mean, we didn't really want to have to replace it, but then we're getting ready to paint the house and, you know, we have people saying, you know, people giving us estimates for that and they're like, you need to fix that because then it's gonna ruin all this money you're gonna spend on painting. And so it was like, just to repair it for just those two valleys. It's 15,008 and then there's 5 more valleys and the condition of other spots of it. It's just deteriorating and it just.
Any commissioners have any other questions or petitions?
Is there any photos, like color photos of what's replacing it? Well, this is the material, the color is here, slate stone,
So it'll
right?
be a
This is
slate
the
stone,
type of
right.
material, yeah, felt like that was pretty close to, I mean, slate stone. And there's a picture that I attached to the application that has it, that I got from the website, like a color of it, it should be right.
Right here, right?
That's the material, but I think there's a picture with just the slate stone. It's the color, it's like this. That, the picture right there, right after our name, our signature, at the beginning. Like
I have one in here.
very beginning. Like before all those pictures, I think. No, somebody else. Yeah, if it's right at the bottom of my email, there's a picture there.
Oh, so I just didn't load it up, unfortunately, when we,
Okay, that's where it was. All right, yeah. It's a close up of the coloring.
Yeah.
Slate stone, so sorry, the bigger one is not the big one.
Okay, maybe nothing else for you, it's pretty straightforward. Any other questions or questions? Go ahead, Commissioner Wright.
They're gonna be putting a metal grip edge around the edge with no color there in or the color of the roofing.
Well, the color of the roofing is a slate stone gray. Don't know what the drip edge
There you go, thank you.
is, if you didn't receive.
Not the one more time.
He's also gonna be painting our house, so I think he's gonna make it that.
You know, usually it's white.
Mike said white in his estimate. So like it's.
a white drip.
White drip edge, install a new white drip edge.
And they're using copper as the valleys.
I don't think
It says,
you need
it
to do
says
that.
flashing areas with copper material. There's so many copper. We put chimneys.
To flash into the chimney,
Yeah.
I think.
I don't think they recreate the valve.
No, they typically
Yeah.
talking about.
One chimney I see in the picture.
Yeah, there's a second one in the,
And the back.
yeah, and then there's the one on the side.
There may be some other flashing places.
There's
One of
I
the
see
quotes
it.
is slate to slate.
types in it.
One of the what?
One of the quotes was like for the 97,000 slate to slate. I don't know if that's the one he was looking at, that said copper valley. But then that's not. It's slate.
That was it. Can you tell us about that one? But how one, when you learn how one can be that low and the other one can be so high?
I don't know, I think, I really don't know, you know, my parents been doing slate for a long time. And so this is probably more accurate to 250-some thousand. But I know this other person.
But it does look like, it does,
You know, well, hands,
it's a man.
you're talking about the difference between the hand and the other one? Oh, the hand is
$150,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing slate roofing.
Yeah,
And the other ones too.
yeah,
The 27,000 is the
Just to repair it.
No,
You
this-
know, the architect.
the architect, oh,
Shakes.
for the new,
Yeah.
So that's where we are. We have site, you want architectural, any other questions for Commissioner? Anyone, Mr. Public Commentary? If there's anyone here that wants to speak for or against this application for certificate of hardship at 53 Fairfield Street, just to, redo their roof in architectural appointments. Anybody?
Harry Seymour, 68 Washington Road and Forest Park Civic Association, and I support their doing this. It's a shame to lose slate roof, but the expense warrants it, I think.
Okay, thank you, Harry. Is there anybody else for or against? There's no letter. Okay, close public commentary. I entertain a motion to accept the application for a certificate of hardship. This hardship is on the issue. To replace the current slate roof with a architectural shingle roof in the color of slate gray.
Slate stone gray.
Slate stone gray. So moved. Second. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What's our next step? Like our contractor could just.
Yeah, the electrical permit and then.
We'll
send that information to you.
Yeah, we'll get you an approval certificate, which will take that to the building department to get your building permit.
Okay, and how long does it take to get that?
Within, the next couple of days.
Oh, thank you very much.
You might talk to the slate contractors, they may want to buy the old slate so they can use it to patch.
Gonna say the stuff that's left, they might want some of that, so.
Okay.
Yeah, they try
Our
to
guy takes it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
No, not just math, you could say stuff.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
And according to the city GIS, first two floors are 2,490 square feet. And that's living space, so if you haven't finished the third floor, they didn't include that. So you can figure that's probably another 900, so 3,300 is about, right?
Okay.
But don't quote me.
Yeah. Okay, 34 West.
My name is Zach. I'm here for Vector Solar on the roofing project at 34 Western View, and I am over in Westford at 1 technology. My own manager is 1 technology. Sorry, it's an apartment building.
Okay. See. Sure, there's a letter here, right?
Yes.
I know it's here, I'm just not see it. I have it. It'd be right on top. The owner offer. Okay, I missed it, but there's plenty of. Okay, tell us what's going on.
So to support solar panels, slate roofs have shown that they don't securely hold water. So whenever we have a slate roof encounter, we switch to asphalt shingling in order to maintain the integrity of the entire home and water damage.
All right, is this slate roof damaged?
The slate roof is in failed condition, and the material that we use with the solar does not comply with slate roofs.
Well, I understand that part. This is a request that this is just, it has nothing to do with why. It has nothing to do with the solar. It has to do with, didn't you already approve solar?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
I was here a long time ago.
Yeah, I thought, my question is that I don't recall that the fact that it was slate being brought up at the time.
Me,
The reason I'm pointing it out is that if you are ever working on a slate roof with solar, you gotta tell us.
Okay.
It doesn't change position or anything, but it's good to know right up front.
Absolutely.
Because it's popular slowly, there is, I still have a hard time taking up a perfectly good slate. And I'm just, I'm giving you, what's got the perfectly good slate, really change because.
Absolutely.
So, I'd like to see whatever we can see about this. Really.
Can I ask a question? Are you taking off the, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The entire, or are you just taking off where you were putting the aluminum?
It would be okay.
You should take all of it off.
All of it off and re-roof it with the asphalt.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be like a whole different? Like if there's nothing running for you. That's what we're gonna discuss.
That's over here. So, yeah, the good and bad part is you move that away, even in slate. Like we just saw, at a similar age, is likely to have some issue about it. But I'd like to know more about the condition.
Right.
Like I said, I have a hard time saying, hey, go right ahead, if it's been maintained perfectly for 4 years, then it's really condition. So. And we don't see them in perfect condition really anymore. I wish we did. Anything we have that can give us any idea?
We're trying to focus on the.
But how about Google View? No, let's just see what we have. Is that the only one we have there? That's not helpful. Yeah, oh, there's one, right back up to that one. Right there, no, one more, just back up to it. It just, I mean, zooming in is not gonna help much, but zooming in.
It's kind of a fuzzy picture.
Industry feel. Maybe. Let's see what the date is. We have a date on that picture.
It's so high up, but it's gonna be hard to see what the roof.
Well, let's just see what we can see.
I do have photos here.
Because they're not asked, they're saying non-applicability. Sure, I guess there would be non-applicability.
I think within the application, so we're not on this, on the application, but within the packet, they state somewhere appropriateness, but for whatever reason, in the application, they put non-applicability.
All right, really, very good. I mean, that's not a bad picture there.
Is there damage to that peak?
That's a ventilation up there.
Like a tree limb fell on it.
So I do have some attic photos here. And if you scroll through, you can definitely see that there's been some sort of leakage going in.
Yeah, that doesn't make the roof tap though. It means it doesn't, that's pretty serious.
Yeah, the roof.
That's what happens with any kind of roof you have. So it doesn't make it automatically. Not repair more than keep it like. I wish the one could see a difference.
Yes.
Click on it.
I don't know if it'll open up.
They're not, so
I can zoom in. Nothing to zoom.
I just messed up.
It's okay.
I'm an old man.
I can go back on for you.
I think without seeing the roof or hearing from the homeowner, it's gonna be hard to.
Looks like they got mold.
There's a lot of them.
And what is the schedule to be done there? Just as soon as you can finish with us. I would consider, maybe we need a motion to. No, continue for a site visit, unless commissioners have seen these pictures, unless we don't have any other questions.
Would the owner have to come in for a separate request to repair the roof?
No, if they keep. It's like, obviously they can't put a solar. We've already approved this solar system as well. Well, this is the one we approved where we were not.
But we didn't know anything about the roof.
Yes. Well, go ahead, Commissioner Nardi.
So am I hearing that the owner is requesting to remove the slate? Because this system will not work with the slate roof?
Yes.
They can't attach it.
And also the,
But there are solar systems that will work with the slate roof. I've seen. I tend to agree with.
For me, I can't.
Well, that's it, right.
Or you can't make a decision based on what you see, and, you know, if it's perfectly good and no reason to replace it is to do solar, I get that, but. The job of the historic commission is to preserve what it looks like, so unless if it's perfectly fine. It's
Well,
repairable.
I agree with Commissioner Walter's suggestion that we have a site visit. And then we can continue this to the next meeting, which is 15.
okay.
Let's go, the homeowner would like to visit.
Yeah. United, we don't need.
Continue the application.
Continue, but I'm saying that there's.
No, we can schedule
Public hearing still? No. We're not, around. I'd entertain a motion to continue. The application for certificate of appropriateness, here. The 34 resting review to the August 15th meeting to enable a site visit.
Second.
There's discussion on that motion.
The site visit will take place before.
Yeah, that's the 2 to 3 of us will have to look at that before. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, I mean, this is almost something you could drive by. But it's, so, we just break what I'm doing.
Wait, doing that, I just have a question. You guys have, the solar company have drones by any chance?
We do,
You do?
yes.
Is there any way you can take shots, like close-up shots of the roof?
Definitely.
Would that be?
Absolutely, you can do it.
Okay, that'd be great. We can, great.
So the motion is to continue the 18th to allow for a site visit prior to that date. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? So that passes unanimously. Should put, we'll put your in for the next meeting. On the agenda for the next meeting on the 15th. If you can, if you want to, you know, fly a drone and get some pictures for us, it will help.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
You want to perhaps, I was going to need to consider research the slate roofs that do use.
Well, we could certainly ask them to do that.
I
I agree with you, by the way, but go ahead.
We can definitely do
Okay, so that's continued to the next meeting,
it. Okay,
and we'll see you then.
thank
Thank
you.
you. And you always want to come in the okay.
Awesome. I appreciate your time.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Let me guess. 55 Emery Street.
My favorite.
Oh,
You're right, Donna. You know,
I'm waiting for her position on this. Yeah, you gotta, so.
You're gonna educate enough, and
I know how to spell that.
Okay, look at the biggest file I've ever had.
It is impressive,
It is an impressive file. Okay, so, name and address.
David Bornstein, 9 Yorkshire Court, Farmington, Connecticut.
Damn it, can't get a commission when you live in Springfield.
You guys may work yet?
No. So you have some, this is a, application of certificate of appropriateness, gates and doors for recessed doorways, steps on the south wall of the company name. So tell us what we're doing.
So, I'm gonna start with the stencil.
Go anywhere you want.
Okay, the stencil, excuse me.
I said, we'll stay till you're done.
Oh, okay. The stencil is done to keep the historical look rather than putting a lighted sign on that part of the building towards the highway. So we make it look more historical looking with the paint rather than a new sign. And I think you just passed.
The sign.
Go one more. No, it's it may be further down, sorry. Can you go up a little bit? Yeah, there it is. And that would be in paint. Where it
Where it
says
says self-storage.
self-storage.
Mhm.
So that's the first order, business, it's just paint.
Fence on the south wall or something in it.
The other areas are the 3 doorways, that are on East Columbus, Emory, and Boylston.
Okay.
We've designated different doors for the different openings,
Okay, let's see what you got.
partially for,
Devin, can you zoom in on that a little bit? I'm sure, bring us over to the door.
Oh, yeah.
This is the continuation of the
It's from the
discussion
door.
we had before with.
Correct. Yeah.
With the gate and the doors.
correct.
And it's probably already another
And there-
photo that you're looking for.
So these are the renderings. We have pictures of the doors themselves also. The gates will look very similar to that with the same arch shape as the brick itself. And they'll be extended all the way up, just below the openings. The one on East Columbus happens to be a square opening. This was done later. It
Okay.
wasn't really done at this
So that
time.
looks like a door that has like would be a faux heat light door. Nice.
Yeah, do you have the pictures?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, so that one we're gonna make look like the other openings with the arch, because right now it has no arch, it's just a square opening.
Is that the one that's already blocked up perfectly?
Yeah, it's taken,
Yeah.
the block has been taken down and, it shows you what it truly looks like.
This will be one of those doors.
Yeah, we're gonna take the bigger one, we're gonna refinish the door. We will pull out the glass because we have had issues with glass and we'll paint it black behind
Which
it.
is why I think about it.
Um,
And here's the other proposed door.
so on the big beautiful opening on Emory, we propose to put those we wanna keep the glass because I think it's a focal point and we'll put a plexiglass over it, clear plexiglass, painted gray, not those colors, but keep the Tiffany glass because I think it just stands out and
Interesting.
it's just a really pretty look for the building with those doors staring at you when you drive up to the building.
So far, so good. Looking in the top doors for what?
And then the top doors for the Boylston side where there's a single door. This is the truly 1900 door and it may not match the others, but this one was just eye-catching and I thought it would look great on the building and so we're gonna paint that one again, put the black out the where the glass would be and use that behind the
Okay,
gate.
so we have renderings of those 3 now with those particular doors?
Yeah, they should be on the renderings.
Yeah, it's right there. We're almost there. Good. Okay.
That's that's the East Columbus
There,
side.
go, right there. Right there.
And that's the yes, Emory side with the larger gate.
Yeah, and the next one?
And that will be the Boylston side with the oval cutout in the middle.
Gotcha. Well.
I'd just like to say something for the Commissioner Cole stepped down for a minute to use the bathroom, I believe.
Back, Commissioner. Okay, well, we're gonna wait for a minute for sure.
Mrs. Kroll, now, Mr.
Mrs. Cole to return to the meeting. So we're just, anyway.
So will you be on this, on the oval, will that be glass or plexiglass? or-
No, that will be blacked out, so it will look kind of like glass, but it will be black and behind it because
Right.
that door, I can't get anybody off that stoop every day.
Yeah.
There's guys on that stoop, so nothing I can do about it.
Let's just wait a minute. There. Actually, we don't have to. I just don't mind having, since 6 of us are here, I don't have to.
Been a while.
Yeah.
I love it.
If it's summer, no one is coming to use it.
No, the window colors there aren't quite looks like.
Well,
Oh, that's it. Teasing you. Teasing you.
Commissioners, the oval door, how does that fit with this kind of building?
Well. I'm not sure, I thought that too, for the first two, I felt that it's a really good potential rendering for the doors.
Yeah.
Because these are kind of faux doors in the first place,
Right.
I don't think that it was gonna be painted black, I was not as concerned. But if anybody else is concerned, let's put it on the table now. What I thought maybe something with a square glass would have been more appropriate than the other ones, just square glass.
Well, I really tried finding, there was a, the problem was when you look at these doors, obviously these are salvage doors and they're gone if you don't buy them sometimes, and these doors are $1,000 for a pair of doors, so I wasn't buying $1,000 door and possibly not using it. There was a beautiful Tiffany glass door like that one, but they had just sold it the week before. It wasn't quite the same door, but it would have been nice, but it wasn't available.
I would understand why you didn't buy anything with Tiffany glass
Yeah.
door. I'm glad you're protecting the glass. The other one, I oversee it because it's not anywhere where you're gonna see both doors at the same time. None of them are where you're gonna see the other door at the same time. I'm not concerned about that, so if anybody is, like I said, let's talk about it now. It sounds like you already bought the door.
No, I didn't
No? Oh, I
don't want to jump
You don't wanna make that
and own a door that,
Yeah.
put my own.
Black land?
So
So,
record show that Commissioner Cole's come back.
thank you. So we have, the stencil, anybody any issues with the stencil? On the south wall? Okay, and, if there's nothing else you'd like to add. Let me just go to public commentary and if anyone here would like to speak for or against this. Harry, you're all set?
I think it's all confusing. I'm okay with everything you're doing, right?
Thank you, Harry. So, no, there's no other, nothing else in there, right? Okay, then I'll close the public commentary. So entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness at 55 Emery Street to install the gates and doors for the recessed doors as presented, stencil on the top wall of the company name.
Second.
Is there any discussion on that motion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passes.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. So the census is storage.
Self-storage.
Self-storage. Yeah. It's just things out there, self-storage, also out married.
Oh, we have a billboard next to it though.
This is renting space, so you can, renting space.
I think that it's still, all right, we got one left? Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I can't meet the full certificate right now, but
We appreciate you. I'm sure you'll try it in your efforts.
so I hope you're all gonna come to the grand opening.
But if we get.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. Okay, well, thank you all for your help.
Okay, so
Good night.
property before the commission is, 101 State Street, section 106 review, rooftop antennas, do they cause any, what do you call it?
No.
Versus damage.
Is that or anything additional information?
We have not received anything additional from them. We're still waiting for a letter of authorization for the representative to speak on the property owner's behalf right now.
Oh, so we can't do anything. Okay, so what do we do?
Continue, if you continue it.
Yeah, so. Okay, we're gonna continue, 101 State Street to the 8:15 meeting. Second. Any discussion on the motion? Aye, no, all in favor? Aye. Yeah, unanimous. Okay, public speak out, Harry, anything to talk about today?
Yeah, I'm back from Cape Cod and all rested up and ready to go, so nothing else.
All right, motion to adjourn.
Bye, Rob.
All right, so moved.
That's it.
All in favor?
Bye.
Hold the order.
See you later.